You've been trapped in a death game with 8 other people totaling 9. Everyone's out to save themselves by obtaining 9 points to go through the big metal door. And on this path, it's not looking very good. One of the other contestants is revealed to have placed bombs across your enclosed area, protected by passwords Google would consider very secure. And you're stuck. It's over. You're going to blow up. But a voice in the back of your head says something. What? It's enough letters to fit in the bomb, yet you've never heard these letters before. At least you haven't in this timeline. What's the best isekai? I'm going to write it on this sticky note and reveal it at the end. Let me take you back in time, 2016. See, I've been an anime fan for well over a decade. Now that I think about it, it's almost 2 decades. So I was around before the isekai boom, unless you consider Inuyasha a generation-defining work of art. A lot of them have aged poorly or have died out to history. Do new fans know about The Devil's a Part-Timer, Log Horizon? Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They? Featuring a bunny girl? Yet ReZero is the shining star whose dim light reignites so brightly upon its rebirth. ReZero is a classic fantasy world isekai without relying on the stupid video game heads-up displays and skills or the menagerie of over-sexualized women of various races that plague so much of the genre. There's so much filth overcrowding this landfill, yet this pristine cat occasionally floats up to breathe, and some other cats. Why did I make the decision to do cats? But this one's my favorite. I'm saying that definitively right now because no other isekai could I watch 4 times and still be excited for a 5th. Subaru Natsuki, our main protagonist, is an average high schooler who didn't like high school very much, so when he was transported to another world with just the clothes on his back and the kombini bag in his hand, there were so many separations of development between the initial Subaru, the shut-in, and the eventual Subaru, the masterful tactician. He is a complex character with simple goals: protect the people he loves. Love, the original motivator for an optimist perspective juxtaposed by pessimists who only believe in survival. But Subaru, the greedy, he wants both love and survival. The amount of bad things occurring around him. It's laughable how unlucky he is, or maybe he's unlucky that he pledged his entire life to a single person. Amelia, the silver-haired half-elf.
Okay.
She's really pretty, which is unfortunate because Amelia bears a striking resemblance to the Witch of Envy that brought calamity to the world 400 years ago. Yet I love her still, her kindness bursting out with every interaction she has. Occasionally, other things burst out of her. Ooh. That's when Subaru's secret hidden ability is put on display. He can
return by death.
Returning by death is the ability gifted from the smelly Witch of Envy to respawn with your full memories intact after your mortal life has ended. Generally, that end is very violent. Weird assassin lady, big panther falling off a cliff. But Subaru's recollection of events is the fundamental rule that makes ReZero such a joy to experience, because with each use of his infinite respawns, Subaru's reaction makes or breaks the spectacle of overcoming monumentous hurdles. Subaru and his determination to overcome are the foundation of ReZero's enjoyability. The revelations on every path, in quotations, each brick of suffering connecting to form a road leading to one true ending. That culmination is like firing a gun and watching the plastic bottle splatter.
Chekhov's gun is an important narrative principle. If a detail is shown, it must become relevant. Remember the sticky note? It still exists. This sort of purposeful writing forms a tighter plot progression as pieces fit snugly together, and ReZero's attention to detail is to formulate a cohesive line to Subaru's best possible ending also demonstrates that the author cares enough about his world to make it coherent, and that's why.
And that journey is hard. Recruiting people to follow the trail means appealing to their multifaceted motivations and moral differences. This is not helped by entangled political tensions that must be unraveled for Subaru to succeed. So many dead ends that Subaru suffers alone for the greater good. Dead ends that branched from the path of the true ending. What is a true ending actually? Real life doesn't have those. A top-down view with an objectively correct route where everyone's the most happy they can be. The con ending? Thankfully, ReZero is a fantasy world that we can take objective moral lessons from. Any unsatisfactory result can be undoed, replayed, and perfected, like coming up with a comeback hours after an argument, but you can actually say it to them. There's a video game with similar ideas to ReZero, another cast whose conflicting banter and philosophies utilize multiple universes to tell its story. As a game though, it's more free with its storytelling abilities, as the characters' mistakes are actually just your mistakes in disguise. That story is Virtue's Last Reward. VLR is this combination of visual novel and puzzle game whose many endings depend on your decisions. There's a lot of them. 8 semi-endings, 11 other game overs that culminate into one grand finale, paralleling ReZero's one true path. I think other than the intro, there's one scenario that best describes how mind-shatteringly intricate the narrative pathing was placed, and it relies on the prisoner's dilemma, a game theory thought experiment famous for a paradox. Two people are placed in a room with a binary decision: ally or betray. If both players choose to ally, they both gain. If one betrays, they gain, whereas the victim loses. And if both choose to betray, nothing changes. This sets up a 2x2 results screen for players A and B. I'm assuming you know the basics of game theory. Don't betray each other because utilitarianism. So now let's get you in a room with this young girl here. Her name is Vi, and you have both promised to press ally. Vi is your most trusted companion after all. You both woke up together in an elevator. It's a long story, just get along please. So you get your decision. Ally or betray. Oops, I definitely didn't mean to do that on purpose. Oh, I feel bad now. The game over is secondary. Sorry, Vi. Let's reload and pick ally. That will make everything better. This information is new. We, the player, act as the subconscious voice informing of other timelines information, like with the beginning bomb example. But learning that the characters within the fictional game both retain access and react to your alternate routes is something difficult to articulate with words. It's an awe both from how the writers conceptualized and executed their vision, and also how it predicts your reactions while hiding that it railroaded you to this conclusion. The most apt comparison within ReZero for this moment is when Roswaal does some bad things. Roswaal, seeing Subaru's reaction, confirms that multiple timelines must exist and that Subaru has experienced
dodging me
multiple
over and
before.
over again!
Over and over. Yes, over and over indeed, Subaru.
That he knows the suffering Subaru has endured and yet only acknowledged it for his own benefit. When another person recognizes Subaru's return by death, it's an eerie sensation that breaks the established rules. Time is not fully reset. Mistakes are kept. There may be a better example of this in ReZero that demonstrates how resetting inherently causes differences. The second arc has Subaru waking up in a mansion next to two maids. They insult him, but Amelia is super cute. He walks around as a butler for a few days, talks to Amelia about meeting some villagers plus a dog, and goes to sleep. Ah, Amelia. He's so happy. The second arc has Subaru waking up in a mansion next to two maids, but a little more panicked. Oh my god, he died. Oh my god. Subaru receives tutoring from one of the maids. Education is good. Oh my god, Amelia tutor. And then he vomits. Should have done that in a toilet. While looking for the bathroom, he hears a chain. It's getting louder. That's not good. The second arc has Subaru waking up panicked in a mansion next to two maids. Oh my god, he died twice now. Subaru chooses to not work this time. In this route though, he leaves the mansion and finally sees the assailant's face, one of the maids, and she gives a reason for murder. Subaru has the witch's scent, the smell proving a close relationship with the witch of envy. A scent only noticeable after the first death, his respawning causing 2 additional routes as the maid kills him once again. So that explains 2 of the deaths. This temporal concept of going back being the cause of differences is an intelligent plot design that is incorporated well. But truthfully, ReZero is at its best when brandishing its suffering sword, when the odds seem insurmountable to Subaru as his brain scrambles to even see a possible way out. Because when shoved to his breaking point is when Subaru Natsuki shows off the most. allow me to introduce the whale. Rato Ichi, Subaru Natsuki, and the blue maid that previously wished for his demise, her name is Rem, are in the city for cringe reasons. Subaru chooses to train with Wilhelm, a legend dubbed the Sword Demon with swords, due to disliking his own weakness. Day 1 ends with a nice wine session with crushed soda. Day 3, Rem senses trouble at the Roswell estate, so Subaru tries rushing back. Some white whale is blocking the main road though, so their half-day route detours to 2 days. This becomes relevant when Rem leaves his ass in the middle of the night, which he does not take.
Tell me where she is!
Day 4. Whoa, some cult guys. Whoa, some dead bodies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my lord. That's not good. It's cold. He's dead. Subaru and Rem. Subaru, hey, are you doing okay? Oh wow. Choosing to stay silent, Yeah, okay. So Subaru and Rem go home on day 2. The doctors all confirm nothing's wrong with him physically, so it's all a mental block. I don't blame him. The last route was quite a lot. But on their way back taking the long route, they're ambushed by members of the witch's cult. If Subaru weren't brain dead, he'd realize they're the village assailants. And now they're torturing Rem. That's not nice. That's a guess! Oh, I guess Subaru was feigning insanity, which means that the Rem with a twisted neck crawling towards him is super real. Rem's slow crawl to her beloved mirrors Subaru's walking slowly back to Roswell's castle on day 4. But he can't free Amelia, so a grieving Puck kills everyone. This credit roll was really good. Route 3 is long. Subaru and Rem approach Crush Soda's estate wearing determined looks. Upon their arrival, they witness some financial merchant guy leaving. Russell Fellow. Never mind that. The witch's cult will be attacking Amelia. But Crush Soda can't help. Subaru has no cards she wants. She doesn't benefit from picking ally. A very bad trade situation. Oh no, he's yelling now, feeling betrayed. It's kinda pathetic, like a kid bawling in the grocery store wanting a candy bar.
Damn it!
Why are you all so completely useless?
We're useless.
Priscilla is met on day 2. It doesn't go well. Anastasia Hoshin, wow, that's a mouthful. Fantasia shows up. She talks about fair negotiations, like that's relevant when people will die. She also mentions how all the ground dragons and iron weapons are being bought up by Crush Soda. Subaru realizes that's probably why that merchant guy was there. Kurt Russell Crowe? Fantasia liked hearing that. Subaru's ego is destroyed, feeling betrayed once again. Oh, hold on, I love this quote.
Since all you do is think about what you want, there's a flaw in your approach.
And taking a step back, I love how obvious everyone's uniformed attire is. Like, Natsuki Subaru must be incredibly daft to not notice these bright white robes, but none of the people he talks to owe him anything, yet he feels entitled to their power, so focused on himself and what he needs that his narrow-mindedness ignores all else. Night 2, Subaru and Rem ride out alone and happen to meet Otto and some merchants. They're taking the main, shorter route in the middle of the night. Who cares about some white whale? A thick, sudden mist looms over everything, inundating the entire route with a fog that I am reiterating is very thick. So thick that when a huge eye takes a peek through, the characters barely notice it. They will then proceed to care about some white whale. Rem died. Otto kicked Subaru off. To be fair, Subaru was attracting the big behemoth. And now the whale's gone. Subaru's the only survivor. Otto got shanked by some cultists. So he slowly rides into Roswell's estate on day 3, which is not full of death and destruction before passing out. He sees Ram. Oh no. Ram sacrificed herself for me. I'm so sorry. It was all my fault. If you want to blame anyone, blame me.
Who is this Rem?
Huh? Oh no. No. Rem has ceased to exist. Amelia, I have to tell Amelia. Telling Amelia was a very bad decision. Telling Amelia was a very bad decision. Some things happen. Beto kiss, and then Puck kills you.
You're so useless.
Now that I think about it, Puck killed Subaru all 3 times. The true route. Combining all the knowledge from previous routes, Subaru Natsuki concludes in incorrigible despair and asks Rem to run away from all responsibilities. She refuses. It would be a very different story if she said yes. And she acknowledges that in a very bittersweet scene, but giving up is something the Subaru Natsuki she loves would not do. And that's that. Nothing occurred in that scene that people would be angry about for many years to come, despite Subaru being correct. Yep, I'm just gonna say that. Stealing his resolve to forge on, his information is reframed from what can I do to what can I do, but with more open-mindedness. Because Subaru was focused only on what he wanted, never considering mutual goals that entice help regardless. Route 1 established stakes, how some hooded guys will attack the undefendable village. Route 2 creates a timeline that foretells the witch's cult's miasma looming in between night 3 and day 4. Their depravity, a man so full of love, belligerently killing everyone else to satisfy some other woman. God, he's just the worst, isn't he? I really want to punch him in the face. With Route 3, a lot of Subaru's problems come together. Only if he uses the foggy path will he arrive in time. Consequently, if he uses the foggy path, a big whale will eat him. Crush Soda was gathering military supplies according to Route 3. Subaru inferred Crush's target was the white whale, whose death would let him reach the estate in time. Intellect, deductive reasoning, beluga whale. Subaru adopts the role of master tactician, mobilizing troops to dispose of the century-spanning fundamental threat alongside countless allies who rally behind his resolve, because his determination is worthless without the strength of action, just as Crush's considerable planning was worthless without his insights. It was mutually beneficial for them to ally, a partnership that benefits everyone more than any other option. And then he makes it with no other hurdles for Amelia to be happy throughout the rest of the series. No more suffering! That's a lie. But this succinctness is an art piece I can't help but admire. This character development of recognizing his own weakness, his pathetic aspects, while learning to appreciate the power he has for inspiring strength and forging alliances. What a marvelous gallery awaits us, each final run, intricately woven thread that ties together into this one prime path, one single timeline whose characters are placed in perfect positions to parry the obstacles. Of course, there may be other timelines where our heroes end up even better off, where they achieve their feats with far fewer sacrifices, or hinder the opponent's plans far before they occur. Maybe those are the real true endings. But this one, where Amelia is giving Subaru a lap pillow right now, this one's good enough for me. Which ending is good enough for you? Which ending in your life are you heading towards now? How hard are you really running towards it? Because the current you is the one dictating that decision. Are you doing your best to find your true end? Anyways, we need a conclusion. Oh wait, I haven't revealed the sticky note. Moment of truth, unwrapping time. What is the best isekai? I wrote, guys, it just says ReZero. I don't know why you expected anything else. I like obvious foreshadowing that leads to conclusions that make narrative sense. What can I say? Thanks for watching. I have another video on ReZero in the works that doesn't include random prisoner dilemma comparisons in the middle. I called back to it though, so it was relevant, I swear. Hopefully you'll hear from me again soon, if you'll let our paths intersect again.